Hi everyone, Miss Swan's here and my dog Scout. We're here to walk you through a compound complex sentences. We're going to go pretty fast in this video, so feel free to pause or rewatch if you need to see things again or hear them again. Here we go. So the reason we're studying sentences is because we want to evolve our sentences towards complexity. So we've learned 3 sentences so far. Scout eats peanut butter. She doesn't leave a drop. That's an example of 2 simple sentences. An example of a compound sentence is by putting those 2 sentences together and using the conjunction and don't forget your comma. Scout eats peanut butter and she doesn't leave a drop. The third type of sentence is the complex sentence. Whenever Scout eats peanut butter, she doesn't leave a drop. And the last one, the one we're going to be looking at today, is the compound complex sentence. Whenever Scout eats peanut butter, she doesn't leave a drop, and that means we don't get ants in the house. So let's take a look at what a compound complex sentence is. For our official definition, a sentence having at least 1 dependent clause and 2 or more independent clauses. So we know from our last 3 lessons what a dependent clause is. A group of words with a subject and verb, but not a complete thought. It is incomplete. We know that independent clauses are the same as simple sentences. They are complete. And in this case, we are going to have 2 of them and 1 dependent clause. So when we add those together, that creates a compound complex sentence. This part is the complex sentence, the dependent and 1 independent clause. And this part is the compound sentence, where you have 2 independent clauses. So I know that seems pretty confusing right now, but I'm going to show you a few examples, and hopefully it will become clear as you go forward. Here we go. So let's build one. We're going to start with our complex sentence. This is one we've seen before. Whenever Scout eats peanut butter, she doesn't leave a drop. So we know that's a complex sentence. It has a dependent clause, it has a conjunction starting it, and it has the independent clause holding it together and allowing it to be a sentence. Okay, so we're going to start with that, and we are going to add to this part of the sentence. So that becomes a compound sentence. So here we have, she doesn't leave a drop, and this means we get no ants. So we have the complex part of the sentence and the compound part of the sentence. Let's look at this one. If Scout eats peanut butter, she becomes a little sleepy, but she's still up for a game of tug-of-war with her rope. So here we have the complex part of the sentence, and here we have the compound part of the sentence. Let's look at another one. Until Scout eats peanut butter, she's not a happy corgi, yet she always looks like she has a grin on her face, no matter what. So here's the complex part of the sentence, and here's the compound part of the sentence. Okay, another example. Even if Scout had a cat sister named Anahita, she would never share her peanut butter, and we would need to feed Anahita in a separate room. So a little shout out here to Ricardo L. from Rio Real School for drawing this darling cat, Anahita, who's going to be a character in our series. And basically, this sentence has the complex part of the sentence in the front. Even if Scout had a cat sister named Anahita, she would never share her peanut butter. And the compound part of the sentence added on to the back, she would never share her peanut butter, and we would need to feed Anahita in a separate room. Okay, so now where to put the commas in such a long, complex sentence, or complicated sentence, actually. So basically, your commas are going to go at the beginning of the independent part of your sentences. So we've got 1 comma right here before this clause, independent clause, And we've got another comma right here. And remember, you're going to put it before the conjunction. Okay, not after. Some kids put it after, and that's a common mistake that we see in middle school and high school. So put it before. Okay, so now you're going to have 2 attempts. Here's the first attempt. See if you know where to put the commas in this compound complex sentence. I'll read it to you, and then you can pause the video and put your finger where you think 2 commas should go. Although we don't have a cat named Anahita, I've always wanted a calico kitten, so maybe we will adopt one someday. Okay, so if you got it right, you would have pointed to these 2 spots. And you can kind of hear it when I read the sentence. Although we don't have a cat named Anahita, I've always wanted a calico kitten, so maybe we'll adopt one someday. So you can kind of hear where it's supposed to pause. The rule is it goes right in front of the independent part of this sentence, and including right in front of that conjunction right there. That's a conjunction. Okay, so attempt number 2, here we go. Before I had cats of my own, I thought they were all pretty shy, but then I learned that some cats are actually fearless. Okay, where do you think the commas will go? And here, if you got it right, you would put them right here. Before I had cats of my own, comma, I thought they were all pretty shy, comma, but then I learned that some cats are actually fearless. Okay, so that's where your commas go. Hopefully you know how to do that now. So let's see if you can recognize which of these 3 attempts are compound complex sentences. Here we go. So you can pause your video and you tell me if this is a compound complex sentence. Since peanut butter is good and healthy, schools serve it for lunch a lot. Nope. It's not a compound complex sentence. It's only a complex sentence. So you can see there's no compound part of it over here. So attempt number 2. Because peanut butter and jelly go well together, people make sandwiches out of these ingredients, and PB&J is probably one of the most popular sandwiches in the US. Yep, that is a compound complex sentence. You can see that it has the complex part right here, and it has another independent clause making it a compound also. So both of them, all 3. And the last attempt, although peanuts are not harmful to dogs or cats, they are grown primarily for humans, yet some humans have allergies to them. Yep, that is a compound complex sentence. So good job if you got those right. Let's just do a quick recap. And these are the ones that are compound complex sentences. The top one is just complex. So last word, what about punctuation? Yes, you can use a period at the end of a compound complex sentence. Obviously, you've seen that in all the examples that I've given you. You can also use a question mark. For example, since you understand compound complex sentences, will you now use them in your writing, and will your essays impress your high school teachers? And you can use an exclamation mark if you want to be emphatic, which means have strong emotion, or if you say something suddenly. For example, now that you understand complex sentences, you can write like a high school student, but it will still take some practice. So that's it, everyone. You can go on to your practice and feedback. Scout says good job, and I will see you next time.